Hello YouTube, and welcome to another Thursday Photoshop CC tutorial. This is graphic designer Roberto Blake. Today we're actually going to be doing airbrushing. We're going to be using the surface blur tool, and we're going to be using a brush, and I'm actually going to show you how to change your brush preset specifically to do really great skin retouching, whether it's doing airbrushing or if you're using the spot healing brush. This will work for you too when you want to do some skin smoothing. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is duplicate our layer so that we can work non-destructively here. Once you've duplicated your layer, we're going to go to the filter tool, we're going to go to blur, and in this case we're going to select surface blur. Now you can use Gaussian blur if you want, but I'm going to use surface blur, and in this case I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjust the settings that my photo actually needs regarding surface blur. You can do whatever settings you feel comfortable with for your model, and when doing this I prefer to go ahead and zoom in at about 100% just so I can actually see what's going to be going on here. And then I pull back afterward and adjust as needed. Since we're going to be using masking with this, don't worry about the details of anything but the face. Just get the settings to where the skin looks like what you want in terms of a result there. Go ahead and add a layer mask to your duplicate layer. I'm going to label this blur. The reason we're going to go ahead and do this is, again, we're working non-destructively. So now that we've applied this surface blur, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to mask it to make things easier for ourselves instead of using the erase tool as people might have shown you how to do in the past. So go ahead and select your brush. And if you go up to the actual brush presets, we're going to actually modify this brush, and we're going to make it thinner, and we're going to change the angle instead of working with a full round circular brush. And we're going to keep this brush soft. Alright, so we've modified in our brush presets by adjusting the angle and the width and dimensions of the brush, and we're going to go ahead and just actually save this preset as a retouching brush. I recommend that when you make custom changes like this that you go ahead and change the presets. Now I'm working with a Wacom tablet, and I recommend that because it's going to make retouching go a lot faster for you than using the mouse, and it's going to be a lot easier on your wrist. Set your brush at 90% or whatever you feel comfortable with. If you are using a Wacom tablet, make sure you have the pressure sensitivity checked off, because that's just going to make things go quicker. And I'm going to work top to bottom, left to right, just so that you can see the difference on one side of the face versus the other here. Go ahead and get the areas that you want the skin to be smooth with. And you're going to see that this is the airbrushing effect that you see on the magazines and the movie posters all the time. And you see that because we have it set at 100%, we're not retaining any of the real detail of her skin. When we adjust our opacity, we'll go ahead and we'll bring that back. Make sure that when you're working with retouching like this, that you're zoomed in. For the final result, it's fine to go ahead and zoom out so that you can actually see what it's going to look like. Most people are only going to see the photo at about 50%, but if you zoom into 100%, 50%, whatever you feel comfortable with where the face is filling up the screen, you should be fine. If you need to get a Wacom tablet, you don't have to necessarily get it Intuos, even though those have the highest level of pressure sensitivity. You can go ahead and go with a Wacom Bamboo model, and you can get those for under $99. Even the newest models are actually comparable to the Intuos 3, which used to be and still could be considered the standard for the industry. I still use a Wacom Intuos 3. I haven't found the need to upgrade to a 4 or 5 yet, and the price on the Intuos 3, even used, still hasn't gone down so much that you know, it's not comparable. So if you can find a used one on Amazon or eBay, I definitely recommend doing that. If not, the new Bambu models are actually really good, and they have multi-touch, so you could be just fine with those as well. And maybe at a lower price, you can actually get one of the larger ones. So definitely look into doing that. All right, now we've actually finished our airbrushing, and you can see the huge difference that it makes for the skin. We have completely smooth skin now, a lack of overall detail on the skin itself, but we can adjust that with the opacity for the most part. Or you can go back and you can bring it back using the black brush in our mask, since you've worked non-destructively. And that's the other point here, is that you want to do that so you can go back and make those kind of changes, pull in details where you need them, and correct your mistakes. I hope this tutorial helped you out and you have a better understanding of how airbrushing works. I think one of the better things about this is, again, the making the custom brush preset. I think it means that you will be able to have better control when you're doing your airbrushing and be a little more precise and avoid bleeding over into areas like the actual eyes and such. So keep that in mind and save that preset. I'll probably make some brush presets a free download at some point. So just stay tuned for that. But anyway, this has been another Photoshop CC tutorial. This technique is not limited to Photoshop CC. You could use this in more or less any modern version of Photoshop from CS3 up. I believe this will actually even work in previous incarnations like CS1 and CS2. God forbid you're still using software that old. But anyway, that's it for this tutorial. New tutorials every Thursday. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Like the video if you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.